Several soldiers hid in an abandoned two-story house in the southern Donetsk direction. Russian troops approached the house as close as possible and offered the soldiers to put down their weapons, put their hands up, and come out. They refused. 2 anti-tank mines were then dropped on the first floor of the house. The moments when the Ukrainian armed forces shot down a Russian attack drone in midair. The Russian soldiers were calmly going their own way with Bukhanka. They were talking among themselves, chatting and laughing. But this is a war zone, and anything can happen at any moment. An FPV drone of the Ukrainian armed forces crashed into the minivan. No one was injured, and the vehicle continued on its way. The passengers were a bit scared and panicked. Anything can happen on the battlefield. It's an objective image. Ukrainian FPV drone tried to destroy an ambulance with Russian soldiers. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comments.
Мама родная, блин! Сука! Далеко до точки? Бегом дальше!
Road in the liberated Berlatskoye area, northwest of Velika Novosilka. Various destroyed Ukrainian armed forces equipment is visible. The Ukrainian armed forces tried to retake Berlatskoye at one point, but to no avail. As the fighting in the Kursk region continues, Ukrainian troops have begun to withdraw. Armored vehicles are being collected in the liberated territory of the Kursk region. Among them are the BTR-4E and MAX-XPRO. Here are images from the BTR-4E. Abandoned military equipment and NATO weapons. The Russian Defense Ministry has published images of abandoned Ukrainian armed forces strongholds in the Kursk region. During the liberation of the settlements of Kosetsa and Cherkasko-Poreshnoe, their security was ensured by the fighters of the Northern Power Group. Images from the Kursk border region. More samples of Ukrainian equipment were delivered from the border areas of the Kursk region to the location of the Tula Guard's airborne troops. Paratroopers evacuated and brought into working condition a Soviet-made Ukrainian BRDM, a BM-21 Grad MLRS, an American M2 Bradley BMP, and a Turkish Kirpi armored vehicle. Some of the equipment fell into the hands of Russian soldiers with almost full ammunition and without critical damage. As Ukrainian troops retreated from the Sudzha district of the Kursk region, they mined the area with NATO ammunition. This was reported by Potap, the auxiliary platoon commander of the 92nd Engineering Regiment of the Northern Group. After that, demining work began in the area and security was restored.
Выстрел!
Ой, блядь!
Погнали, 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 ответка, ответка. Все, бро, к нам бежим.
Яма з мусором біля рівера. Я не знаю, куди йти.
The helmet camera of James Anderson, a British mercenary who participated in the fighting in the Kursk region in the ranks of the AFU, captures the moment of his capture by Russian Marines.
Стоп! Нов! Иди сюда! Иду, положил!
Сюда, сюда! Там еще прикрывай, смотри, там еще идут.
Сюда, ложись! Еще где оружие? Ножик, все, гранат где?
Два гранада.
Держи на мушку, держи. На спину ляжь.
Это кто?
Американский, не разумею.
Кто? Американский?
Американский.
Ну понятно. Это не наш.
Сюда.
Вон, особенно вон тот он. Ложись на живот. Живот на спину ляжь.
Снимай с него броню. Проще будет. Камеру сними. Руку держите, смотрите. Это самое. Я его пристрелю.
Стоять!
Снимай. Руки сюда.
The puppy fell into a dirt trap, and Russian soldiers came to its aid. They spent hours trying to save the puppy. They did everything they could for him, and finally managed to save him.
Все, вытащили бедолагу. Стой.
Scenes from the town of Sudzha, Kursk region. When the Ukrainian armed forces withdrew from Kursk, they left a lot of weapons, equipment, and armored vehicles. In this image, you can see the abandoned American-made Bradley armored vehicle. It is important to capture such vehicles so that engineers can research and work on them. As a result of the studies on armored vehicles, the weak points of those vehicles are identified. This is very important in drone attacks. Drone operators who know the sensitive points of armored vehicles can destroy expensive armored vehicles with a single strike. Footage of the work of an evacuation team paramedic.
Да поможет нам Бог. Сейчас отцепляй, понял? Ага. Сейчас я развернусь, отцепляй быстрее. Прыгай. Отцепил? Быстрее, цепляйте второго, давай, родной, больше никак, давай. Парни, сами пешком, ладно? Айда, родной, садись. Парни, спасибо! Красавцы! Айда! Терпите! Ой, терпите, парни! Терпите! Тихо, нам, блин, надо. Ничего не поделаешь, ничего не поделаешь.
Soldiers of the 11th Independent Guards Airborne Brigade inspect captured armored vehicles of the Ukrainian armed forces in the liberated part of the Kursk region. This vehicle is an American-made M113 armored personnel carrier. Soldiers of the 39th Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade evacuated 3 pieces of armed forces of Ukraine equipment near Kurakov in the DNR. According to a TASS correspondent, the equipment includes an American Max Pro, a French Renault APC, and a Kozak combat vehicle. In the meantime, you can use YouTube Super Thank You to support us and our content. We need it to continue with our videos. Kursk border region. You see a lot of scrapped and abandoned equipment. Images of armored personnel carriers, ATVs, pickup trucks, Max Pro, pickups, and many other equipment being scrapped. The destruction of so much equipment on the moon's path may indicate a major attack. Russian drones, artillery, MLRS are constantly conducting major operations on the Kursk border. Even at the time of the video, you can hear explosions in the background. The fighting in Kursk continues at full intensity. FPV drones that fall to the ground near Sudzha but do not explode are precisely detected and then destroyed by Russian forces. These unexploded drones are actually like mines. Therefore, detecting and destroying unexploded drones or other explosives to ensure the security of the region is an important task, and it is a delicate job that needs attention. In the same way, the interiors of houses are also checked. There may be traps set in these houses, and they need to be cleared of explosives.
Есть! Второго дорабатывай.
Принял. Побежал.
Вали отсюда!
Ухожу.
Блиндаж! Птичка сверху, дальше беги!
Ты ему не нравишься.
Не нравится? Да я прям не музыка.
Пошел.
An anti-tank unit of the Dnipro airborne troops destroyed a Ukrainian armed forces signal repeater on a submerged naval transport ship near Kinburn Spit.
Это видно даже отсюда. Камера, не знаю, передаст, нет.
Вторая! Выстрел!
Abandoned munitions of NATO countries in settlements in the Kursk region.
Пробуем хотя бы, чё?
Powerful images from the liberated Kursk lands. They tried to break the Orthodox cross but failed. On Russian soil, Russian fighters first erected the bent cross and blessed their homeland. The Ministry of Defense reported that attack aircraft of the Western Group captured and cleared positions of the armed forces of Ukraine in Donetsk.
Давай к ним, туда! Выходи! К нам! Второй выходит! Пошел! Лёг, вот сюда, Лёг! Второй! Второй, бегом! Все, выходи туда! К спецназу выходи! Сюда ложись! Готов 5, огонь автоматически.
Soldiers of the motorized rifle units of the tank unit of the Central Group practiced shooting with cannon and grenade launchers at the rear firing range in the Special Operations Zone. During the training session, grenade launchers fired 30mm AGS-17 Plamya, while mortar crews performed shooting tasks, hitting targets of the conditional enemy.
Записываем цель.
The soldiers also acted out a scenario in which a buildup of enemy manpower was detected. The Métis ATGM crew moved to the specified point, deployed the launcher, and successfully hit all targets.
Там наши работают, наши. Смотрим.
Ukrainian FPV drone raid during the evacuation of a Desert Cross 1000 vehicle. Soldiers skillfully shot down the drone.
Идет! Идет! Не знаю, шумит. Кто пошел? Вон! Меня задело, блядь! А? Давай это! Так тащим ее, так!
Вот окраина Гуева.
This video was shot outside the settlement of Guevo. Guevo. The Russian armed forces remained in the Kursk region to clear Guevo, after which they will liberate Gornal and Oleshnya. Then they will continue work to liberate the settlements of Sumy. Work in this direction is already underway. In the video, you can see some destroyed equipment and captured machine guns. There are also some L-bomba launchers. The Ukrainian armed forces reportedly thwarted around 190 airstrikes over Donetsk during the week. You see expensive aircraft-type drones and other UAVs being neutralized. Imagine you're a soldier, and you're at your post, and suddenly you hear the sound of a drone, and you go out and look, and you see that the drone is caught in the nets, and it's making this sound. The Ukrainian FPV drone has gotten caught in the nets over Russian positions, and is beeping continuously. It seems that the netting system worked to protect the positions.